Say what needs to be said. Tuesday night vibe, special edition. Mr. Pick Six in the building. You know what I mean? I had to bring y'all a good show tonight. You know, I got my little bro in the building. You know what I mean? Arguably the number one threat, deep threat in the NFL history. You know what I mean? On the show tonight, and he known to take the top off of a defense. You know what I mean? Now he's taking his new journey as a college football head coach. He's taking on a new journey, baby. Great things happen to people that we can never have imagined. 15 years in the NFL, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pro Bowls, over 11,000 yards receiving. He is a Philadelphia Eagle legend. Welcome the little bro to the show. D-Jack, D-Jack. The screen went out. Come on back, baby. Come on back, Coach Jack.
Damn, I don't know what happened with. Damn, my bad. I don't know what happened with the camera.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all
Key
good. Coach Jack in the building.
was good,
What's
baby.
happening, baby? How you feeling, man? How you feeling over there?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Good to see you. You know, it's not in the physical touch, but you know, it's all the same. It's all the same love. I know my bro out there grinding, doing his thing, man. How you feeling, man? Everything good?
Yeah, man. So out here in Delaware, we just got finished with spring ball. So actually, man, it's been. Who would ever thought you would be doing your podcast and I would be here coaching? you know,
You know what I
we
mean?
we on we on two different sides of the field, but you know what's crazy? Me and Shady McCoy, we had our podcast not too long ago before I got this
Yeah.
head coaching job, and now I see you doing your thing with the podcasting.
Yeah. I like to call myself a professional shit talker. You know what I mean?
Talk your
Professional
shit,
shit
pop
talker.
your shit. You did that. Hey, you did that anyway. That's what they don't know. You did that anyway.
Yeah, man. We always had fun, man. That was just a part of our life out there at practice, you know what I mean, with Coach Andy Reid out there in Philadelphia, baby. So let's get into this thing, man. So like I said, Coach D Jack, what they call you, man, at practice? What do they call you? Coach D Jack, Coach Jack? How
Coach,
they call you? How you
yeah,
call
nah,
you?
I don't let them call me D Jack. They gotta say Coach Jack.
That's
I,
right.
they,
That's right.
they be trying to come up talking about Coach DJ. I'm like, who that is? Man, you
Coach.
can't call me DJ.
Right. No, for sure, man. You gotta establish that respect right off the rip, man. And that's that you're doing the right thing for sure. Um, you know, man, this is all crazy, like you say, man. Me over here talking about, you know what I mean? You coaching college football, right?
Yeah.
How did this whole D Jack Coach D Jack or Coach Jack? Let me get this right. Coach Jack
Yeah.
becoming the head coach of Delaware State, man. How did this all come about, man?
Man, so I was coaching football. I was coaching high school last year, man. My older brother was the head coach in Long Beach, and after 2 years of retiring, obviously my first year, I sat back, I kicked my feet up, I ain't do nothing, and then after year one of doing that, I said, man, I got to get off the couch and go do something. So my brother was the head coach at a high school, and he hit me up. He was like, man, you should come out and coach with me. So when I got out there and I coached with him, I fell in love with the game, man. When obviously scoring touchdowns and playing, that's something we always did growing up. But once I was done playing, bro, it was like that void of me catching touchdowns and scoring. I ain't had that no more. So the minute I got back out there and started coaching young high school kids, it was like, man, that shit kind of it rejuvenated me and gave me a different joy. So after last year, man, I finished my first year coaching high school, man. I got a phone call from Delaware State, and they was like, man, would you be willing to coach college? I'm like, nah, I'm cool, bro. Cause I know the hours that we put in college and in the pros. And for me to just finish 15 years, I'm like, nah, I'm cool, bro. Cause I was having fun coaching high school. But then
Yeah.
my brother was like, dog, if you really want to take this coaching shit serious, he was like, man, don't pass this opportunity up. So I'm like, yeah, you right. So I really think like Dion paid the way too, man, because seeing what his implement
For sure.
on, guys that played obviously now could go into coaching. So, once he kind of like I think he laid the foundation. I'm like, man, I got to go follow it because look what he doing now as far as being a player and then obviously coaching. So I'm like, man, I can't miss this opportunity.
Right. No, for sure. Like you say, man, people don't understand. We've been invested in football our whole life, pretty much our entire life dedicated to football, right? And
Yeah.
football is over with, and we like, what the heck? Ain't no more organized practice, ain't no freaking schedule, and we just like, in the free world, it's like, man, we had such a such a structured life, and now we just out here kind of moving around, and we kind of we want to find our way. Like you say, I'm doing my podcast. He's coaching. So man, it's not easy for us to adjust after football. So shout out to Coach Jack over there doing his thing, man, doing his thing. So like you mentioned, so that was your link to coaching football. Your brother was already at a high
Coaching high
school head
school.
coach, and you was able to come
Yeah.
right in, huh?
Yeah, I came right in. And he coached in California for like 20, 25 years, and he's the first black coach to win a Division II or higher in California. So he's had a lot of success. And I kind of was like, man, let me just go over there and experience that. And I was like his offensive coordinator slash receiver coach. And throughout the year, man, shit, we took a team that had never been to the state championship in the first year. We went over there and took them to the state championship. We lost in the state championship game, and it was just, man, the experience was dope, bro. Like, I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, my first week of coaching, like the kids they were starstruck and they was like, oh my God, like Coach DJ coached me. But after they got past that first week, I could really see like all the dudes with like they took in everything I was teaching them, and I started seeing a difference. Like dudes was getting better, dudes that couldn't catch was catching, dudes that couldn't get out of breaks was getting out of breaks. So I'm like, all right, they listening to what I'm telling them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that kind of gave me that energy where I'm like, man, I want to pour
Yeah.
into this because I got so much information. I would be a fool to keep it to myself.
Yeah, yeah, and it helped you develop that passion, like you see the purpose and people feeding off you and learning from you. Yeah, man. But like you said, man, you went into to the high school with your brother, with your bro, and the team wasn't that good, right? And then
Yeah,
y'all developed the team, and then y'all went to the state championship. So now you're at Delaware State.
yes, sir.
Football team hasn't had a winning season. I did my research since I think 2007.
Yeah,
Since 2007, am I right? So
yeah.
what are
That's
your
the last time they got a championship. That's 2007. Yeah.
yeah? So what are your expectations for the season, and what do you need to change the program around? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, my expectation, honestly, I mean, the past 2 years they've been 1-11. So they won 2 games and lost 22 in the past 2 years. So I mean, I feel like coming into a situation we can't get no worse. All we could
Yeah.
do is go up. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I think the biggest thing is coming into a losing culture and a culture that hasn't been winning is how do you basically take away from all the bad characteristics. Like what do I do to implement winning culture? You know what I'm saying? Like how, and you came from a winning culture, so and I obviously, high school, I went to college, obviously won in the league a little bit as well too. Then quite win as many Super Bowls you won, but I actually did get a Super Bowl, but I ain't playing the Super Bowl. But that year I actually had a Super. It's
Right.
bittersweet. But what
Right.
I would say for me is, what are guys doing in this new era of college football and just the youth nowadays? Like their mentality and their mindset is not as strong as ours was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you got the Instagram era, you got like one thing you do and now you a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like these
Yeah.
guys forget the work of what it takes to really be great. Day in and day out. So I think for me, just mentality, mindset, resilience, creating that dog culture. And for me, like I'm just making these dudes work. Like, like last year, they was up 6 games in the fourth quarter and lost. So what does
Really?
that tell me? You
Wow.
get tired in the fourth quarter, you give up. You ain't
Mental
strong
toughness.
mentally. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mental toughness. So like that's
Yeah.
everything I've been doing. I'm implementing discipline. We
Yeah.
gonna be the most conditioned team. Like, and some of these dudes, I'm sure they like, man, I ain't think Coach Jack gonna come in here and be on this. They probably thought I'm about to have D Jack, my coach.
Yeah.
We about to be chilling. Like, if I allow y'all to come in and chill, I'm not doing my job as a head coach. Cause for one, and you know this, if I don't call you out on your bullshit and I don't tell you the things you don't want to hear, I don't want to. I don't want you to be great in life.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't
So
pushing
I
them to their full potential. You know what I mean? Yeah.
exactly, bro. So I
If
think
y'all
that
notice though, when we talking about coaching, we said the mental part right off the rip, like at the same time. So that tells y'all, man, just the experience of us being making it to the pros and stuff, man, it is different, man. It hit different, and we can teach the kids differently how from our experiences and things like that, man. So shout
yeah,
out to Coach
for
Jack,
sure.
man.
For
So
sure.
like like we was talking before we jumped on, man, and you remember how we used to go at it in practice and challenge each other, talking our
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? So what type of environment you trying to build over there in practice at Delaware State, man? What type of environment over there? If I came to practice, What
Yeah.
type of environment you trying to
Man,
build?
I ain't gonna lie, there's a whole bunch of YNs, man. These little dudes be over here. Hey, these dudes be over here tripping, bro. I be having to stop practice. They be fighting. I'm like, I like it, I love it, but y'all gotta chill because if we get in the game and y'all throwing punches and fighting, your ass gonna get kicked out the game, dog.
Oh
Hey, they be wilding, bro. They be throwing punches, taking they. Hey, so nowadays, I don't know if you noticed this new era, dog. Like when dudes be having mouthpieces on, they say
Lord.
how you aggravate somebody is you go up to them and pull their mouthpiece off, dog, and like, yeah, I got your mouthpiece. You calling you words and stuff. So I'm like, I'm watching two of my best players getting into it. One of them bigger, the other one a linebacker. So the big old center go up to him and just snatch his mouthpiece off and then throw it, and he's like, you a bi. I'm like, "Dang, y'all dudes, like, what is up with y'all, boy? Hey, we getting it though. We competing. No, I ain't gonna lie, dog. We competing. These dudes, hey, we flying around, hey,
That's
talking
what I want to
shit.
hear.
Like
Yeah.
every word you hear is yeah, 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 yeah. You know the language. I don't want to really talk because I'm the head
Yeah.
coach, but it get
Right.
crazy.
Keep it like that. Yes, sir. Keep it professional, baby. Coach Jack in the building. You know what I mean? Also known as Deshaun Jackson, take the top off of a defense. You know what I mean? Anytime. You know what I mean?
For
Hey, but
real.
little birdies be flying around and little messages be coming through. You know what I mean? So with that being said, a little message came through, and guess what? They told me you was in the sweepstakes for Nico and Malaweva. You put that
Hey,
off out there, man. Let me talk to me, man. Tell us
hey.
what you trying to get Nico, man. What's happening?
Man, Nico used to play for my Pop Warner team back in LA, man. Nico went to my high school for a little bit, then he transferred off to a few high schools. But man, what's crazy is I got a real good relationship with Nico dad and Nico and his little brother Madden. So when I
Yeah.
seen the news, I'm like, man, I gotta reach out to this dude because I heard these teams trying to offer him 3.5. I say, I got a lot of relationships. I ain't gonna personally pay him the money, but I got a few agents that may come up and say, hey man, bring this dude over here, man. There's some NIL money, but I'm
Right.
like, at the end of the day, man, like it's crazy because like I reach out to some of these college dudes now, and they like talk to my agent.
It's
I'm like,
wild, right?
talk to your agent.
That's wild. It's different times, man. It's
Bro, the
different
dude
times.
told me that you telling Deshaun Jackson to talk to your agent like, dog, I'm Coach Jack calling you. You better get on the phone and talk to you. I would never tell, say I like Randy Moss was the head coach and I call Randy. I ain't finna tell
Right.
Randy to talk to my agent.
Right. I want to talk to him personally to see what he got to say. Something I might be able to learn. Like, what do you mean, my
Yeah,
agent?
it's
But the agent's
crazy
probably training them in like a lawyer, like, hey, don't talk to nobody because they know they want to get their bread. So they, you know how they gotta act. They gotta gatekeep, baby. They
for
trying to
sure.
gatekeep much as they
It's
can.
crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Hey, so yeah, man. Like we was talking about Nico, this whole NIL situation, right, going on.
Yep.
How do you feel, man? What do you think you would have been worth at Cal, man, up there with NILs, man? What do you think you would have broke the bank up there, man?
Man, I ain't.
Was you that type of player?
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I would
I
have been
was.
worth about like 20,000 out there at UCF, but how much you
He said, I for sure would at least been able to get like a little 5 million. I think for sure I could have pulled off a
Ooh,
little 5 million, dog.
you think you would have got 5 million, huh?
I think so. I think I could at least got at least 1.5 a year. That's 4 years. Even though I've only been there 3 years, that's about 4.5. I think I could have about 4.5. That's fair. 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. Usually the deep threats, your speed and wide receiver, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all score the touchdowns. They're gonna give y'all the money in.
I had the production, All
You had the
American, two,
production.
3 years, All American,
Punt return.
Heisman hopeful.
Ooh. Hey, do you think speaking of the NIL deals and situations, right? Because I know how, it would have uh made me feel so strong willed and like I got things figured out. Do you think if you would have got paid like that in college, it would have messed your career up for the
Yeah, bro. I
NFL?
look at that a lot now, man. I think a lot of these dudes not gonna be as hungry, man. I think they
Yeah,
getting money
man.
now, and it's like they almost made it already, bro. And it was like the hunger that we wanted. Obviously, college we was able to see a little something, but like we wasn't really able to see no real money. So it's like we still had the hunger to want to go to the NFL because we knew that was the big payday. And I
Right.
feel like right now, like the college shit is cool, but the big payday is still in the NFL, especially with the money they get now.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember when you was coming to me, like I looked up to you, believe it or not. Like obviously you
Yeah.
was older. I think you was getting like 12 to 15 a year that when you signed your deal in Philly. So,
Yeah.
and then I remember when I got my first big deal was 10 a year. So like for us, bro, we was making good money. But nowadays, this money they making,
It's crazy.
Bro, it is nuts, bro. I'll just be like, damn, I wish I was in this era, dog.
I wonder, is it going to keep becoming more and more money? Like, is there ever going to be a cap? Are we going to see 3 year, $500 million deals in 20 years and stuff like that? Bro, we see a 3 year, $500 million deal. We got to do something, man. Be reborn. So, man,
Man,
this
for
is
real,
wild,
dog. We got
man.
to get another shot or something, huh? But I ain't gonna
Hmm.
lie, man. That's why this coaching shit, dog. Like, I don't know if you ever got the interest, but dog, when I tell you these coaches are getting some crazy money, bro, they getting all guaranteed deals. And if they get
Yeah,
fired, like
yeah,
look at the
yeah.
dude from Jeff Fisher, not Jeff Fisher, what's the Jimbo.
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo Fisher, bro, Texas A&M, bro, he was guaranteed. They paying him
Yeah.
still like crazy amount per year.
Yeah, yeah, no, man, grind it out. Yeah, for sure. Opportunities come. You just see everybody take the opportunity they
I
feel
know
fit
you
best
though.
for
I
them and
know you
stuff.
though. You'll be a hell of a coach. I know you, dog. You'll be a hell of a coach, bro. You got
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
you.
yeah. One day, man. One day, hopefully, man. Like you say, man. Given all that, we have all this knowledge inside of us, and like y'all heard the whole T-step and the technique conversation, man. So this stuff get deep, man. We got a lot of knowledge, man. So, but like we say, we talking about coaching and stuff, and you don't know this your first time to say what needs to be said. Salute my little bro, D Jack. You know what I mean? His family adopted me when we first met. If y'all don't know, man, we became family right off the rip, man. I was adopted into the family, right? We got the same family, you know what I
For
mean?
real.
So this is to say what needs to
My
be
my hey,
said.
mom's right here. If I tell her I was on with you, she'd go crazy.
Don't tell her, yeah, right? She gonna go crazy, right? Hey, but like I said, all right, say what needs to be said. So we putting you on the spot. This is a say what needs to be said question and answer. The infamous Chip Kelly. If the infamous Chip Kelly became a head coach in the NFL again, and he wanted to hire Coach Jack as the offensive coordinator, would you take the job?
Damn. How much I'm getting paid?
A regular officer coordinator money in NFL. What's that? About 5 million, 3 million? I don't know.
I might just have to take it dog for the bread. I'm gonna take it. I ain't gonna be able to stand, dude. I mean, I'm gonna really tell him. I say for me to order, in order for me to take this deal, you got to give me more than what for all that money you made me miss out on in a few years, dog. I need that money back, and then we can be cool.
I feel that. I
That's
feel
the
that.
only
Hey,
way
but
we can be straight.
yeah. That was funny, but hey, I caught you off guard with that one. You wasn't expect
I
that.
was
Like,
trying to figure out where you was going. I'm like, hold on, what's going on here? Yeah, man. Yeah,
yeah,
he owed me, man. He owed me resurrection. He
yeah,
owed
man.
me.
Yeah. The older we get, man, sometimes things change and stuff like that. So who knows how things go. But he probably end up being a freaking head coach again someday. He's the office coordinator up there in Oakland.
Ohio State.
Now I think he's at Oakland Raiders now.
Oh yeah, he did get hired at
Yeah, with
Oakland. Yeah, he
Tom
back
Brady
at
and stuff.
Oakland.
So he's
I
still
don't think
finding
he a
his way.
head coach. I don't know if he gonna be able to get no head coach though.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. That's old Chip Kelly, man. Dang, man, did it? He did some crazy stuff,
Did you
man.
did you like Chip Kelly?
I didn't really know too much about him. Remember, I didn't play with him. I think he came
You
like
yeah,
two
you
years
was
after
gone,
me.
yeah, after you, yeah. So you never got an opportunity to.
Yeah,
You a
y'all.
boy, you would have been the last motherfucker to be there with him. I promise you would have been, you wouldn't have had none of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I could
yeah,
see you right now.
yeah, yeah. I was calling me. I think I was calling me, telling me about the situations and stuff. Yeah, man. That would have probably been bad, a bad situation for my career and
For
everything. You know what
real.
I mean? But D Jack, right? What do you define as a Hall of Famer from your perspective, right? Talk to me. What do you define as a Hall of Famer?
Man, what do I define as a Hall of Famer? I mean, a difference maker. I
Ooh,
think somebody
there you
that
go.
came into the game obviously and played the game somewhat different than anybody else. Like,
Hundred
what
percent.
was your what was your mark on the game? How did you change the game?
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as for me, I think I came into the league when an era of big receivers was the ideal receiver. So
Right.
I mean, obviously, but it was smaller guys before me, but they didn't play how I played. Like, I look at the Marvin Harrisons, the Steve Smiths, the
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Bruces, Dante Halls, like guys of that nature. But like honestly, I was an outside receiver. Like they didn't just throw me in the slot, you know, they didn't just tell me to run certain routes. Like I feel like I ran every route. So I would just say more of like a difference maker, you know, somebody that embarked the game and made the game look different. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
stood out and was successful for a long period of time. Like you can't just have a couple years of success. You got to be successful over a period, like at least a decade.
That longevity, yeah, yeah. But yeah, like you saying, man, a difference maker. A difference maker is definitely it fits in the equation. That definitely you answered that pretty good. So yeah, man, you definitely was a difference maker. And
The more the conversation.
yeah. Hey, make sure y'all drop some questions down there for in the chat for Coach Jack at the end. We gonna have a little Q&A and see what we come up with. So yeah, man, he just described the Hall of Famer, which is a difference maker, and a difference maker should not be denied. You know what I mean? And Coach Jack, we're gonna call him Deshaun Jackson for this one right here. You know what I mean? Deshaun Jackson has the all-time record for the most 60-yard touchdowns with 26. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
Should
He
have had
tied
more
the
than
number
that.
one.
Should have had more than that. But go ahead, keep going.
Should have. We ain't gonna get into that one. Whoa.
For real, dog.
And then you got 1 yard for you got the number one spot for 80-yard touchdowns. Well, you tied for the number one spot with 80-yard touchdowns with 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you passed Jerry Rice, Devin Hester in those categories, and also currently Tyreek Hill. I think he had 17. You know what I mean? That is an underrated stat, and it's not talked about a lot, right? And man, I was there to witness all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it
Right.
was crazy. And what does that mean to you? And because it's not talked about a lot or enough. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, man, it just shows like, you know, all these years of me being, you know, overlooked, being the underdog, being somebody that guys never really like gave the credit for. It just kind of shows, you know, what I did in the game. And I think, you know, for me, a kid coming from Los Angeles, California, that always, you know, had doubters, had naysayers that didn't believe in me. I just used all that to feed the fire. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think, you know, the game obviously will be played. It started way before me and is going to go way after me. So for me to be able to be in some records that haven't playing a game for these many years, man, since the early 18s when the game starts, you know, NFL or the early night, whenever the game started. And
Mm-hmm.
I know it's gonna go way longer than me, but just to say from when it started to obviously when it's gonna end, who knows? But I'm in those record books, and records obviously are to be broken, but you know, them records, man, like to have them names that, you know, beating Randy Moss, beating Jerry Rice, like them type of guys, like I mean that to me, dog, that's an
That's a
accomplishment.
huge accomplishment,
That's an
man.
accomplishment
Huge accomplishment, man.
for real.
And you was talking about being difference making in the Hall of Fame, and I wanted to bring this up, man. It's like man, y'all don't understand. When I saw D Jack, like he's saying, the NFL was used to big receivers, those big, not as fast receivers. You know, I like to call them possession receivers. And D Jack was fast and quick, but he was very small. You know, so
Hmm.
I'm kind of looking at D Jack. He come in as a rookie. We both come into Philly in the same year. So I'm trying to figure out what's going to be his angle. How is he going to be dominant? How is he going to be good? Is he going to be able to last? Is he going to be able to remain healthy? And let me tell you, man, Lil D Jack is a dog, man. That he doesn't get enough credit, man, for the things he did out there on the field and how he maintained. Like you said, 15 years at his size, no major injuries. I mean, it's an art to that, art to being able to be tackled and not being injured and being so small. You know what I mean? So shout out to Coach Jack, man, Deshaun Jackson in the building, man. That's a tribute, man. I got to give everybody their flowers when they come on the show, man. So
You know, for
got to give
sure.
D Jack his flowers. You know what I mean? How many of those 80-yard, 60-yard touchdowns were from special teams?
Uh, I would probably say from special teams, the 61, maybe like one or two 60 ones. The 80 yard ones, I don't think I had any 80 yard punt returns.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure, for
Okay.
sure, probably one or two from punt returns though. But besides that, all them was bombs over Baghdad, throwing the ball deep.
Yeah.
Who? And I want to ask you a question though, man,
Go
because
ahead. Go
this
ahead.
this gonna be interesting. Who would you, if you had to pick? I'm gonna ask you two questions.
Go
So
ahead.
over the years that you played in Philadelphia, who do you think was the best quarterback over all the years? And then go ahead. I want you to answer that one first before I give you the second one. Over all your years in Philadelphia, who you think the best quarterback was?
I definitely would give it the meaning like just the best as not
Whoever you gonna say the best
yeah.
was.
It was Vic. Vic was best, but obviously uh McNabb was there longer, so he had more experience and numbers and productivity and stuff like that.
Got you.
Yeah.
So, damn, that kind of answers sort of the question. So, if you say he better than, so if you had to pick either Vic or McNabb, you gonna go with Vic?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm gonna go with Vic. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that, but you know,
Well,
100%
I
go
be
with
talking about
Vic.
some of the McNabb stories, dog. I be like, damn, McNabb was cool, but dog, he just was a different cat, man.
Yeah, man. The people don't understand that, man. It's a different cat. And I don't know if you ever heard me preach my story and how it was different for me because y'all gotta understand, you come in as a rookie, right?
Yeah,
All you know is what you see from McNabb, the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what you're born. You're born into the NFL as a Philadelphia Eagle, right?
right.
I'm born into the NFL as a New England Patriot. I'm born into watching Tom
Tom
Brady play
Brady.
and practice. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm seeing for 5 years. I don't know. I assume everything else looks the same.
Same,
Now
yeah.
I get to Philly and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Nobody said like this is not practice. This
I
is not
remember,
for real.
I
So
remember you used to say that shit, dog.
it's like, you know what I mean? Because it was like a real feeling. And it was like, I couldn't believe in my eyes that this was going on. It was like, this can't be real. I got to go play out here on Sunday. I can't prepare for the game like this. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Bro, you
that,
used
that
to
was
snap.
funny,
You used to
man.
be like, Andy, you ain't gonna say nothing. Like, bro, do you see that? Like, bro, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
see, that's
yeah.
the thing. I don't think you couldn't really say nothing to Buddy like that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Belichick probably used to, speak his words, but
Yeah,
on that side over there,
Belichick let me go at it. Like when Randy Moss came, like he let me get go at Randy Moss because he wanted that excitement and that tempo in practice. So you know what I mean. I think with Andy Reid them, it was just the way that McNabb was treated and stuff, and they would tell me to tone it down when I'm getting too hard on him. So I
yeah,
understood the situation, but it was none of that with Brady. Brady will look at you, turn, you know what I mean. We be
turn
going
that
at
shit
it, you know
up
what I
for
mean.
real.
So yeah,
Well,
that's the
definitely.
difference for me. You know what I mean. But let me tell y'all about a funny story. Like I say, man, me and that's my little bro. We was locked in from his rookie in my first years. But during training camp, you know what I mean, away games and even some home games, me and D Jack, we used to be on a mission to get that fixed. We got to get that fixed. And we got caught up a few times, but it was nothing serious though, right? But during training camp one time, after practice or meeting, right, we go on on a little ride after we eat, eat after we eat, right? We got like an hour before curfew, so we're going on our little ride. We was out there in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Lehigh, right? We was out there in
Yeah, we
Lehigh,
about
right?
Lehigh. Yep.
Where we held training camp, right? So any break we got, right? We went on an escapade through the city. Mainly, we used to be on the highway. We got to get on the highway. You got to let the smoke out. Gotta let it out. Get out easy that way. You know what I mean? So we on the highway. We hit the highway. You know what I mean? Get back. Then we get back, and we are late for curfew. Then Coach Reed finds out, and Coach Reed not having it. Right? He is not having it, and both of us are in trouble. Right? And his discipline was wake up at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and he gonna put you through some crazy drills at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it was designed to punish you, take you out the game. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And as we was walking up, he stopped us. I remember I talking my way out of it because I was the vet, I was the new, highest paid guy. But I remember the rookie D Jack not getting away with it. And let me tell you, 2 o'clock in the morning, that field used to be so much mist and wetness out there. I don't know if D Jack remember that, man, but how that punishment went, man. I remember you coming back, man. He killed me, boy. I don't know if you remember, boy.
Yeah, nah, I did remember because I was like, man, I looked up and I was like, damn, I don't see my partner with me, dog. And I was like, I figured I'm like, well, that's probably a vet dude that got paid, and this a young rookie that's probably doing some shit I probably shouldn't have did. So,
Right,
I
right.
mean, I was able to learn early, but I do remember at the time it was Barry. Barry was our strength coach, and I remember, boy, he ran my ass in the ground, bro.
Yeah, yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, that's who it was.
It
Yeah.
was cold. It was cold as hell, man. I remember he made me roll up and down, boy. I probably threw up every little thing that I did on that ride. I threw up every little thing. I was dizzy, bro. I could just remember, like, man, this shit ain't working them. I said, I can't do what Zont do. Whatever Zont
Yeah.
do, he get away with. DJ I can't get away with that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, he was a rookie too, man. You can't let the rookie like you can't let your freshman get away with something you might let your senior get away with right now. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It
So if he would have let you get away with that, man, look at what he would have started. You know,
would have
you
been
would have been
bad.
crazy. It would have
It
been
would
bad out. It
it
would
would
have
have
been
been
terrible out
bad. It
there.
would have been
But
bad.
that's what we love about Coach Reed, man. He was such a player's coach and he understood the dynamics and everything. And man, he just took care of us, man. He treated how much you miss playing for Andy, man. How much because
And Andy was one of my favorite coaches all time, man. I think, he was like a father figure, man. And I think, over one thing I would say about him, he taught me a lot, man. He understood where I came from. Obviously, he's the LA guy, so he understood like, the obstacles and what I was faced from being a guy from LA that was being pulled in different, directions. And, he used to sit me down, he used to tell me, he's like, man, whatever you're doing at home or whatever you hanging out doing, like don't let that shit affect you in between these white lines. And I could respect that because he didn't tell me don't do it, but he
right,
just was like, don't let that shit affect you in between these white lines. You know what I'm saying? As long as you can
right.
take care of your business as a grown man, when you come to work, just put it on the line. And that just gave me a different respect level for him.
Yeah. Was there any other team? Because you think you played for what, 5 teams, 6 teams?
Six.
Six.
Yeah.
So were there any other teams where you got there and it was just like the culture, the dynamic of the team in practice? It was just like, man, this is wild. Like this is crazy. Or everything was pretty copacetic. What you think?
Uh no, I mean I think everywhere I went, man, it was pretty much up to par. I'd probably say Washington. When I first went to Washington when I left in 2013, it was probably a little different. You
Mm-hmm.
know, obviously being up under, I would say McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Brian Dawkins, guys like yourself, like, just learning from those type of pedigree of players and then kind of going to like Washington. At that time, I was kind of like more of a veteran guy. So like I didn't really have those leaders to kind of look up to, and then I could kind of just see like as far as like organization wise, like they didn't really have that leadership as far as like older guys like London Fletcher was gone, like all their guys was gone. So it just like at that point, it was just kind of like and Jay Gruden was the head coach. He was kind of soft, even though I wouldn't say he was soft. He just allowed us to do what we wanted to do. He wasn't like John Gruden. See,
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden was meanly. Jay Gruden, he was more like cool. He wouldn't be mad at you, do it, let you do whatever. So like, I wasn't used to that. So I low key took advantage of that shit.
Right. So that was the first stop after you left Philly. It was Washington.
It was Washington, yeah. After
Yeah.
I
So
left
yeah, that
Philly, yeah, that was
definitely
my
hit
first
different to
stop.
you. That definitely
It
hit
it
different,
hit
boy.
different, bro. Cause and then you gotta think too, like I had a grudge on my shoulder. I'm like, man, they just released me. I said I wanted to stay in division. I wanted to smack boy. I wanted every time I got a chance to play him, I wanted to boy. I was tripping. So that's why it made me go there. I said, you know what? But yeah, I just think the culture. But overall, like man, I ended up in some good places where the culture kind of was already sounded and the foundation was there.
Yeah. That's what's up. Shout out to Washington. Who was the quarterback then? Was it
RG3 and then Kirk Cousins,
RG3 and Kirk Cousins?
Colt McCoy.
Yeah. So we talked about you being one of the arguably the best deep threat in football. And then I know you seen Pac-Man Jones come to the show, you know what I mean? He had to say what needs to be said. And he tried to talk about his point, him being one of the best punt returners, but he said he got like 5 or 6 punt returns called back, and then he missed 3 years. I think he got a little point with the 3 years, but the callback, that's a part of the game, man. I
Yeah.
really think you are in that category, right? What was it? Are y'all the top 3 returners or special team returners of that era, or am I missing somebody?
Um.
You, Devin Hester, and Pac-Man Jones. Is there anybody else we missing?
Pac-Man Jones, I would say like a Jacoby Ford. He was a returner. He was playing for the Raiders.
Yeah, but I don't
Um,
know if he went crazy like y'all. You know, what I mean, you
Jacoby
did
Jones,
it for a very short period of time.
Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones. Yeah,
Rest
Jacoby Jones. Yeah.
rest his
R.I.P.
soul. Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he was
Um,
lit on it. He was lit on it. He was lit.
Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles was kind of yeah.
I mean, there's some guys you can't, like Pack was up there. I don't take that away from Pack, but I mean, there was some guys too that who was the other dude?
Who was that?
Damn, dog, it just slipped my mind. I had his name in my head, but no, I mean for sure, Pac Man. Me and Pac Man argue all the time because he said he's better than me at punt return, but I'm like Pac, you was like that Pac, but I mean I just when Pac had the ball in his hands, he was a difference maker. I will say that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
I'm not gonna
was.
take that away from him. But over there you got Tay Austin.
Oh yeah. I forgot about Tay
You
Austin.
got you got
Yeah.
Percy Harvin.
Percy. That's
I
another
mean,
one.
like dog, it was some guys, dog. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
There's
saying?
a few
So
guys.
it was a few guys.
Who the special team champs, chat? Y'all let us know.
Yeah, the
Um,
special team. I mean, I
but
I,
I,
I
I
would give it
think
to
what
Devin Hester.
yeah, Devin Hester definitely the champ. But I think what hurt Pac-Man the most, man, is the trouble in him getting suspended. If he would have just
Suspended.
went straight to the NFL, no trouble in college, no trouble in NFL, man, I think he would have been bigger than life, man. You know what I mean? He had so much hype coming out of West Virginia. Did you know about him? Did y'all come in the same year? Or what was?
No, Pac was a little older than me. I think Pac may be your age. You talking about Pac?
Yeah, Pac. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Pac was a few years older than me, but no, Pac did have a lot of hype coming out of West Virginia, man. He was a baller, man. Obviously, what do you think about him as far as a corner?
I think he was just raw talent. Like when he talk on, he was talking about he don't do the T step and stuff like that. He was just raw talent and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of people. And I think that you probably seen it. You know what I mean? People are just have a lot of talent, but if you can't turn that talent into the technique, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a talent. You're just a great athlete out there. You know, if he could have established better techniques and things like that, he would have been way more productive and things like that, along with a lot of other players. You know what I mean? That ain't no shout out to nobody, but yeah, a lot of it's not much technique going out there.
What
People
what
understand that.
what you as far as a corner, obviously, I know certain individuals don't really get the credit they probably deserve. I think you would probably it'd be fair to put you in that category. Obviously, I feel like you for me, you one of the top dudes I've played against, played with. Like people ask me over the years, like, I give you a lot of credit, but I want to ask you like from a perspective of like Richard Sherman, yourself, like guys that they say is zone players or cover three or cover two players, right? Like, what's your take on that from a perspective of like being in man different than being in zone? Like, do you think that changes how good you are, how good you could have been, or how you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
from a
hey,
perspective from a
I got so many answers to that question, but I'm just gonna start flying and just sending them at you. But first of all, where is this zone and man corner come from? You see what I'm saying? First and foremost, there's no such thing as a zone corner and a man corner. No defensive coordinator is changing their defense for any corner. Philadelphia, Atlanta, and the Patriots didn't make me a zone corner. You know what I mean? I guess people like to say I was a zone corner because I played off the ball. You see what I'm saying? So I guess they automatically just assume I'm in zone.
right,
And in the second part of the question or answer, it's like you say, what's the difference between man and zone? They they so hyped up about if somebody can play man press, they're good. That's not good. It's at the end of the day, it's about productivity. You have to be able to play every every coverage that the coach calls.
right,
Coach ain't just out there. You're not only one player. It's 11 other players out there. There's 5, 6 other people that have to play man to man. If they can't play man to man as good as you, he can't just call man to man all day. You see what I'm saying? So it's
mm-hmm.
like everybody try to make their arguments and debates. That's why they can't stick to the facts because they want to be able to just say their opinions. When they come to the facts, I tear everybody up. You know what I mean? So like Richard Sherman, you know what I mean? Richard Sherman, I don't know why Richard Sherman is, I think he's up there with me, you know what I mean? Going to get the ball and stuff like that. The thing about him, he started off real hot, his first 2 years he had, 2 8 years with interceptions, then it kind of went down, and so that's how he got recognized. But yeah, man, you have to be able to play every coverage. Ain't no man cover. If you just a man corner, you're not good. I don't. How are you good?
Right.
What does that make you good? Because you just could play man to man. I need a corner that could play man. He could play zone. He could play cover two. He could play whatever the coach calls. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So it's like these people got these arguments. They won't never debate me because I tear their butt up on
Did you
everything. You know what I
did
mean?
you
Every
did you
scenario.
did you
Go ahead, come back. You went. Let me read this chat. Chat, how's it going, chat? We're gonna make for him to come back. He's gonna come back through. Where the questions at for D Jack? Waiting on him to come back through. Shout out to Solid Ground. Shout out to Mr. Jody 419. Lot of Hill in the building. There you go. There you go. D Jack back. Coach Jack back.
did you hear
All
what
right,
I
I couldn't hear
said?
you now. No, go ahead.
I said, did you have a favorite coverage?
I had a favorite coverage. It just depends on who we was playing. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we play Eli Manning, I'm like, Coach, just send everybody. Go get them every time. Just fucking just do it, you know? I'm like, just go, right? Every coverage, just go. Cause I got the rhythm. I feel them good, you know what I mean? If we playing against Peyton Manning, you know what I mean? I might be like, Coach, all right, let's mix this shit up sometime, like, cause he gonna cipher what we doing, and eventually he gonna get us. So you know what I mean.
Right.
My thing was too is I'm disguising every play, so I'm staying off the ball and playing every coverage from right there, and that's when people can't understand what coverage I was in. That was me manipulating the coverages and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know. So yeah, that's a good question, man. It's crazy you asked about that cornerback stuff. I
Yeah,
know
not
everybody be intrigued now. They see that shit go crazy,
nah,
man.
cause my brother kept sending me like, everything about, what you and Dion, y'all was going back and forth. There's like, man, Asante ain't playing, like Asante popping it, but like you gotta think like how we are and where we come from, like we not backing down from shit. So like, when
Yeah.
I seen it, I respect it because I'm like, man, at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
But
shit,
but
like you
people
said.
gotta read between the lines. I don't mean to keep acting like this is an issue and things like that. When he came out, I don't know if your brother seen it or you seen it. He came, what idiot does this? And he was talking about the T-step and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he made it a point to point this out. And he was like, what idiot does this? He's taking a shot at me, y'all. Like, I'm the
Yeah.
T-step. I'm the one that promoted the T-step. You know what I mean? I ain't seen nobody talk about the T-step like I talked to, you know what I mean? So it's just funny how shit be going and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
What's
that's
your
what that was
relation?
all about.
But
Everybody's T-stepping.
what's your relation? Y'all got a relationship? You don't fuck with him?
Man, there's so much back history, man. I don't know if the Shady ever told you, but one time, he made some crazy remarks on TV after that game against Indianapolis Colts when I just had the two interceptions, and won the game with an interception.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. He was going off. Then my peoples, kind of went crazy on him. Then he had to call Shady. We was at a game. I can't remember what game. He had to call Shady, and we was at the hotel, and he told Shady to call me, and he told me to come down, and he was just, he apologized, and I thought we was cool. You know what I mean? But if you pay attention to all 50 of my interceptions, right? And he was the NFL, when he worked at the NFL Network.
Yeah.
He was never giving me a shout out. He ain't never praised me. I got 50 interceptions. You got 50 times to praise me. These other dudes got 20 interceptions. You got 20 times to praise them. You praise them as soon as they get one. But I'm not doing the dance and all that. I'm just, you know what I mean? so,
He said, you
so,
know what I said? For real,
so,
dog. That
so
shit
that's the
crazy.
issue, man. But everybody come out the womb love Deon. I love Deon. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, ain't no thing, you know what I mean?
All good, man.
Hey, like you say, he pioneered the way right now, man. He creating a lot of opportunities for, like you say, like yourself and Michael Vick and other people to become coaches and these institutions to believe in us,
No, for sure.
So that's good.
100%.
What you think you're gonna do? You think you're gonna be out there? You gonna bring the wave out there, or you just gonna stay focused, laser eye focus, tunnel vision right now. You ain't trying to have too much outside distractions.
Man, shoot, man, I'm trying to take this shit over, man. I'm trying to make my mark on it, man. Trying to take it as far as I could go. So I think me personally, man, I want to do it to how I want to do it. I don't want to be like Deon. I don't want to, steal anything from him. But I've learned, and I seen how he's done it, and I just want to put my
Yeah.
own mark on it. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like the success that he's able to create it. Obviously, you can learn from it, and from my perspective, is like being a head coach. Obviously, being a guy that can lead young men. And hopefully, even if it's not only on the field, but off the field as well, too, just being better young men, being better community men, leaders and stuff like that. So, and obviously let these dudes know, like, shit is more than football. Shit, get your degree, shit, you'll never know what you'll turn out to be in life. Don't just, everybody
That's
ain't
right.
making it to the NFL. That's the realness of the situation. So,
Yeah,
some
for
of these
sure.
dudes, you got to encourage them a little different.
Yeah, for sure, man. Last question of the night, man. Then we gonna get up out of here. Um, so you on this coaching journey right now. You know what I mean. You in Delaware. You gonna might be moving from city to city, state to state. What that love life like, man? Where your rider at? You need a rider in your life. You got a rider with you
Yeah, for
on this
sure.
journey?
I got a rider, man. I'm engaged too right now. So,
Oh, for real?
yeah,
Word?
my fiance, y'all, man. Yeah, that's my lady, man. She held me down, man.
Your fiance, that's right. Speak
Yeah,
it up. Hey, let me
she
tell you funny now. Let me make sure you know what I mean. First of all, let me ask you how long y'all been engaged?
like a year and a half.
Oh shit. Oh man. I ain't trying to start no trouble. But when I got engaged, I thought I was just gonna be engaged for like
Forever.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this
Yeah.
gonna hold you over. Fat ring, you know what I mean? She come to me about 3, 4 months, like when we plan the wedding. You know, when you get engaged, you're supposed to get married like 6 months later. I'm like, what that rule at? You know what I mean? So hey, no pressure, brother. You know what I
No
mean?
pressure, man. Yeah, we gonna take our time, man. We ain't gonna move too fast.
Yeah. Gotta take your
We ain't
time.
gonna move too
What
fast, man.
where Mom Dukes at? Tell Mom Dukes, say, hey,
Mom,
let me see that beautiful
come
face,
here.
Mom Dukes.
Yeah, mom's around this thing, man. She over here.
She over there.
Come here, mama.
Teffa.
She over there cooking up. Look who this is.
Let me see that beautiful face. Hey there.
You know who that is?
How
How
you
you doing?
doing?
You tell
I'm
me.
I,
doing good.
Who was that?
I'm doing
It's-
good. Hanging in there.
She couldn't
This
even tell you without the
man, you know
dreads.
what?
You
Wait a
couldn't tell you about the
minute.
dread.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Ah,
minute. How you doing, darling?
I'm doing good. How you doing, beautiful?
Oh, there you go. I see your boy out in LA balling. He was. I don't know. He still is, right?
Yeah. He got waiting on his new situation, man. He had a little situation, but just keep him in your prayers.
Oh,
Asante
well.
Samuel Jr.
I know. He looked just like you. He got all your DNA. Come on now.
I know that's
He
right. I
got
like to.
all your do. Where's your wife? How's she doing? The kids are grown and gone, or what? What's going on with them?
Yep, she out there in the living room. They eating and stuff, man. I was just telling them, the audience and stuff, how you adopted me to the family as soon as we met, man. Right off the rip, I was adopted to the family, man. I was just explaining that to them, man. And so there you go. There go my
Yeah,
second
you
mom.
know
There go
I
Mom
love
Dukes right
you.
there.
I love your family for real, for real. I remember
Yeah.
the babies and everything. Now that was a good time. That was a good period of time, you know.
Oh man, that was a fun. That was one of the funnest times of my life,
Good
especially
Lord,
for
what's
me
wrong?
coming from New England, man.
Yeah, we on.
That was
Oh,
one of the
She talking
best
about you
times
live.
ever,
Look, she
man.
I
talking
did.
about you live. Look, she talking about you live. She talking about you live. She talking about you live. Look,
I'm
she.
on a podcast. Are you
She don't
serious
even
right
know. She don't
now?
even know. She think we talking FaceTime or something, huh?
Okay, well you got me live and then rare color, all right?
Yeah. So you made it. You made it. Don't say what needs to be said, Mom, dude. Salute.
Okay, love you guys. All right, take care. I hope to see you soon. I know we're gonna see that you at that big game, right? If no other
Yeah,
game.
definitely. Everybody gonna be at the Deshaun Jackson, Coach Jack versus Coach Vic in
Do
the
you
building. You know
believe
what I
that?
mean?
You imparted into his life. You played a big part in his life. You got him straight when he first got there. Talked real good sense to him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's what we
Financial
for. That's what we
sense.
for. You know what I mean? Now he
Financial
doing it.
sense. Yeah, that was that
Mm-hmm.
financial sense you gave him right at the top. You sure did. You sure
No
did.
doubt, no doubt.
All
My
right, peace
brother.
and love.
Love, Brody.
Okay, yeah, for
Yep,
real.
yep.
All
All
right.
right, man. So, say what needs to be said. Tuesday night
You,
vibes. We out, baby. See y'all next time.
you already
Salute.
know, Brody. 100.